Good morning. Happy Thursday. Happy PPI day. It's the great Mattsby and Tracker. Good morning.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, sir. How are you today?
Good. We'll
Is
see
the
what
room?
happens with
Oh
this
my god!
PPI. Is it going to scare the market again? Are people panicking again? I sensed on X people are panicking again.
I don't know. Producer price index. It was just such a green day yesterday. It's natural. We're just get a little bit of a. We're coming down off the sugar high. I think I'm kind of looking for continuations in a lot of places. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm looking for.
I was looking for a back test anyways because, as I mentioned yesterday with like Bitcoin, it was approaching the top end of the range around the 5 or the 110, 109 again. So going back down to retest levels does make perfect sense here. So looks like we just got some PPI out there, right? Is it doing anything? No, I don't know. Just kind of the same.
Producer price index. It's not a really sexy one like the consumer price index.
Yeah. Yeah, so what I'll be starting off with is the usual SPY. So things could be in process of going back down to the 886, and I mentioned that multiple times throughout the week that going back down there to back test that zone is perfectly normal because the closer we get to a resistance zone up here, the better the chance for a retrace. And just being in the middle of a range, it could go either way to create euphoria or to create panic. So maybe the panic is getting created right now, but I'll be watching this 596 as a potential support zone for SPY. Even on the daily chart too, we can still see the conversion line is even below that. It's at 594.15, so it could even go back and retest that. But being on top of all the indicators on the daily chart for the Ichimoku is not a bearish situation. It's just got a little bit overextended, so it's doing a little back test at the moment. And QQQ, same thing, day over day. It's still right in the conversion line as support, and maybe a back test of this zone right down here. Yeah, it would be around 522.89 or 524.36 if things got a little bit more scary. But as you can see, day over day, it's just been rising, 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 rising. So a little bit of a pullback is expected because we are getting closer to previous all-time highs here for the QQQ. And usually the first time we don't break free, we go back and retest levels first. And the IWM, it is getting rejected at that 213 zone, and I think this is perfectly normal. Mainly because if I show you this IWM Gann chart here, I think this perfectly explains what's happening to it. Right, I've had this Gann chart for a while now, and look at that. It hit the blue level back at resistance. See, you can see big support before, breakdown, breakout, V bottom with the 45-degree angle. And guess what? It touched the blue level yesterday, wicked above, and now it's going back below to close that gap, the weekly gap. So I think this is perfectly understandable as well. So that is basically your daily support still is a little bit lower, right? It might be the 209 or down to the 208 zone. So this is still just a breakout, got rejected at an important zone, which 213 was very important. We can even see on the weekly chart here, it's the top of the Ichimoku cloud, or the bottom of the Ichimoku cloud too, got rejected. So now it's closing that gap below. So good developments really, but it just hit a wall, hit resistance. And Bitcoin here, I mentioned yesterday when prices up here, people are getting excited again, and that's usually the case at resistance. And now the closer it gets down to weekly support, I'm sure more panic will set in, right? If it does go back down to 105, 104, whatever, people will probably start to freak out like, oh my God, it's going to crash. But in reality, it's just still in the same range, right? And be more bullish at support, be more cautious at resistance. And if that strategy works for me, it should work for everybody because it just eliminates irrational emotions, right? You don't have to be all excited up here and all depressed down here and just look at the chart because the chart is telling you the story. Tracker?
Indeed. Well, let's see. I'll show my Bitcoin chart. I want to show it on the 1 hour time scale here. Give you some of the short-term action. Looks like things are lining up perfectly for a touch of 105,998. That's right here. As this is my 1 hour moving average 75. The thick orange one is 4 times that. So this is a 300 moving average, but it's also the 75 MA on the 4 hour chart. And Yeah, I think we're gonna come right to this point right here, touch at 105,998, or 106 if you want to say that, and then up we go. People are asking about, as one of my subscribers said, is this a good time to buy coin? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. In fact, here's my Con L chart, and I was predicting this little yellow block right here that this triangle would do one more touch, maybe even after it sets up this trend with this one, this touch maybe breaks the trend a little bit, just enough to be a little scary. And yeah, if we go down with Bitcoin, where'd you go? Yeah, if we go down another just a few more percent, then yeah, maybe we just got to wick down. Like it's only 1% left, and then anyway, this is a great place to buy coin and Conel, I'd say. And then my next targets are much higher. Well, it starts with 74% higher to reach 41.96 for Conel anyway. So half that for coin. And then I guess I should do Tesla. Let's see. Oh man, I tell you, it's so freeing not being chained to being the Tesla tracker. I'm just the tracker. It's like I feel like Kramer from that episode of Seinfeld. Or like, I'm free, Jerry, and I'm loving every minute of it. I wonder where he stops wearing underwear.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, Tesla on the 8-hour chart looks like it wants to fulfill the prophecy of this Ichimoku cloud. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to hit the 350.74. That's the 886 over here. Yeah, 350.74, then maybe bounces back down to the bottom of the 70.2% retrade, 322.39. That's the turn I'm looking for on the way up to the 141 at 430. It's so blue. 431.79. And which is on the way to 509.71 is my 764 on the purple, my purple track. So let's see if we get that, then that means we're on the purple track. And back to you, Matt.
Yeah, so Tesla for me is actually doing what is expected here. So here's my Tesla chart. It's going on the linear scale. It's still in focus here. The 321.32. That's the 702 fib right here. That's the halfway point between the 786 and the 618. And yeah, it's going back down there. I think it did go back down there already pre-market, did it not? On the 4-hour, not really. It went down to only what 322.48. So not technically yet. So I'll be watching that day over day. But I think a wick below would be perfectly cool, right? Maybe 319, 318, 317, whatever, right? I think this is a very good looking chart right now. And this big liquidity grab below was a necessary process for the continuation higher because it was a massive resistance above. So I'll be watching 321 down to maybe just on the daily chart, maybe like a wick below. Could it come back down to the 307, 306? Possibly. I mean, it's Tesla. It likes to be volatile. But if it did, I think that would just be a fantastic opportunity because this 306 is also the log-based 786 fib, right? So any kind of backtest of that would be phenomenal as well. So I'm hoping for that because maybe I'll actually buy more. My buy at the 291 or under that was not enough. I need more. So we'll see. But bullish setup, right? I can't be bearish about this chart at all, especially still in the realms of market symmetry and getting closer and closer to the arc above. So be more bullish at support, more cautious at resistance. And let's get some requests going here. You have an NVTS chart, right?
I do. That's my number one stock now. Hey, I just want to read a couple things here. First off, thanks to Rumble Belly for doing the fundamental stuff for us. The PPI, he says, came in lower than expected, which is good, right? Because if prices are lower for producers, then they can make more profits. Jobless claims same as the month before, but higher than expected. Unless it's a lot higher, it's not a big thing. And thanks for the testimonial from King Size Smile, who writes, "Good morning, guys. Really appreciate your show. Tracker made me more than $10,000 this week with his chart on KWM and also helped on TSLL yesterday. I also leaned into a few other stocks that are so far. Yeah, there are a few in my recommendations, but some are really hot, like NVTS, which I will do right now. It's right there. It is. NVTS, I'm looking for it to touch $7.72 is that's the 1 hour I'm sorry, the 1 hour moving average 75 right here is where I think just at the open or maybe by 10 AM, I'd love to see it touch 717, and then after that, it's gonna go 88.7% higher to, probably 1353 or 1359 is what I've got here on the chart, and watch the turns here at, $11.03 and, 962. That's my NVTS chart, and I could just keep going if you want. QBTS is another one I do. I can't remember if I'm in this one or if I sidelined with this one. Gosh, it's I would have to take a look, but it looks like where prices right now, let's see where it was last time. It was 58% higher. We got a bit of a pullback, so now it's 71. My ultimate target here is 28.74 next to finish out the wave 5 for QBTS, and it's almost at the point where I could do a projection here. Let me just get a quick one and see how far this reaches. Not quite high enough. No, wait, it's perfect. What am I looking at? No, it's not perfect. It's almost high enough. Anyway, something just along the lines of how do I skip? Wait. I just need to make this do this. There we go, it's better. 16, 17-ish. Something along the lines of 764, 382, 1382, 100%. Oh, that's the wrong one. 764, 382, 1382, 102, 382. So maybe that, and then like ABC down, and then it finishes the rest of this. And like maybe this is like the wave 3, 4, and then 5 that gets up to 28.74. So there you go. QBTS looks good. Look for caution at 921. I'm sorry, 1921 next. And oh my gosh, I've got SBET is another big one, and Rich Tech Robotics. I don't have XTIA, I don't think, but here's SBET. This is one I'm in. This one, I had a 5-wave extension going up, and then what happened was right here, it decided to pull an ABC. It decided to do the ABC instead of the 5 waves up. So it did a quick, as soon as it hit 4901, it jumped up to 4901, then back to 3126 for the AB. And so the next target is now the 618 at 77.69. From where prices right now, that's 132% higher. That's going to be great for either 77.69 to 74.93, 74.93 at minimum. This should actually say 77.69 for the wave C target. And then after that, it kind of gets a little bit more support, and then we go zone up here, breakout testing zone, but one crime at a time. 132% is nothing to sneeze at. From here to 77.69 yet. Next with SBET, and then I'll do our Rich Tech Robotics. That's Pizza Robots, and then I'll hand it back to you, Matt. Rich Tech Robotics. Yeah, it did end up. I bought it here at 223. And I had a setup that I thought I liked. But anyway, it did end up testing the 11.4. These are fib extensions on the right. Let me go to the 8-hour chart. Rich Tech Robotics looks great. See, like it had this all-time low of 30 cents, and jumped up to almost $6.30. Yeah, so here's my projections. It's headed to the 382 next, at least, at minimum, $3.55. So from where price is right now, that is about 70% higher. There you go. Watch the turn, the 382 back to 236, 71 after that. All right, back to you, Matt.
Yeah, I got Alston pay on deck here. So I'll start with Alston. I wanted to just pay attention to this breakout that's happening with Alston. It is a nice breakout from the 382, the 1486 level. This is from the all-time high to the all-time low. And one thing I wanted to point out, though, if you just put on the Bollinger Bands here, it is getting quite extended on the weekly chart. So, and every time we see it kind of extended above the band, the top band, it kind of corrects a little bit. So because of that, it is quite extended. The upper band is at 1605, so that is pretty far above, and it is down pre-market. So I would maybe even anticipate a back test of the $14 to $16 zone. Right. I think a breakout back test is in order. I don't like the breakouts. I like the back test of the breakouts before it really wants to continue higher. So maybe a little bit lower first before higher, but it is now a breakout. So it's a bullish chart, right? It's looking fine. And you can put on everything else too, the other indicators here. And this kind of just tells a story that it's trying to break above the 200-week moving average. But this is the first time it's touching it ever, which means we don't know. We don't know if it's going to close above tomorrow or not, if it's going to just create a wick and close below. So this is some resistance to think about right now. So 1798, we'll see if it can close above tomorrow. If it can, then perhaps it might not need to go back down to the 16s, but we'll see, right? It's still a resistance zone because we do not have any weekly confirmation of closing above just yet. And pay here. Pay, I just have the previous all-time high. It's getting rejected there. 39.23. Clear rejection for a whole month in a row. It like tried to trick people. Oh, I'm going to break out. I'm going to break out. I'm going to break out. And no, it didn't. So price maybe 33.94 conversion line, maybe even a back test of the 886 below, which is 32.10. So that's kind of the zone I would be looking at, or even the cloud down below at 31 would be great. So I don't think it's ready to break out above. So maybe a little bit lower before it can go higher. But once it does flip that 39.23 to a support, the possibility to go up to the 60, or if you got a linear scale, maybe the 48 first before getting a lot more bullish. So the chart does look fine, but it's looking like it needs to cool down a little bit more before breaking out. And tracker.
Sure. I've got XTIA here, aerospace I just did up. This is a stock that I'd call this high risk, high reward. An ABC retrace from this wick right here to this 382-236-618 would be 445% higher if and when it ever gets to 24.35. It's probably going to fight with 794 right now. You can see that's exactly where it wicked up to, and it's back below. I mean, it's really, you have to kind of put a microscope. There's the 11.4 right there. Didn't quite get to it. But this, these stocks that look like this, I tend to stay away from them. But if you want to try a high risk, high reward, there you go, 445% just to fail at the 382 if you can do that. And then I was going to do, I've got some of these miners. I wanted it to be in Wolf, but I'm going to wait until it does the 618-236, and then I'm going to get in, because then we'll get the more explosive move. Right now it's just going to be choppy on the way there. Maybe I don't know. Wolf, I'm expecting 618-236, $7.38 next, or 67%, 68% higher. Then it drops back to where price is now for $4.09, and then up to $12.70 with some caution at the 127.2. I don't know, actually maybe it just extends higher to 1306 instead of 1270. And that would be 193 to maybe 200% higher from where price is right now. So Wolf is good, but I'm doing these other things that are hot now, and then once this does this, then it comes back down, the market will be primed for the bigger move. Probably the same with the other IREN.
I got a Wolf and Iron chart too when you're done.
Please. Well, here's IREN. This one is getting closer to my next target, 33. That's 43% higher from where it is now. Then it retests back to 864 for the 23.6 fib. And go ahead, Matt, do yours.
Yeah. Let's take a look at Wolf first. So my Wolf chart, it broke out of the GAN level, so I love it. Right, back test of 412, fine. Right, if it does do that, maybe wick below and into the low fours is okay as well. But it already broke out of the 100, back tested it, and then it took off. So now it's just like breaking one resistance level at a time, looking more and more bullish. I like it. So stay above that $4 412 zone. I think it's okay. And Iron. And I think I have Cypher as well. So Iron's right back at resistance. That's why it got rejected yesterday. It hit the 702, 1050, and now it's coming back down to maybe the baseline and maybe even back test the cloud, 970s, or even the 50-week moving average at the 950 zone. So very nice thing to do, right? Breakout get rejected. It even opened up a weekly candle above the baseline, so I like that. But we'll see how it closes on Friday tomorrow. So I'll be looking at that baseline 999. I mean, if it does close the week above it, that could be a bullish setup to maybe even break this resistance above. But this is a powerful resistance. 1050. You got the angle, you got the arc, you got the 702, you got all that right here. So not sure if it's going to break out just yet. So bullish chart, but maybe a little bit lower first into the nines before going higher. And Cypher here. Cypher broke out of the 100, opened up above. It's getting that liquidity below it now. So maybe look for a back test of this 618 fib right here, the 375. Possibly that could be a back test zone for it. And maybe even the 200-week moving average is possible too at 368. So this is good, right? It broke out of a big resistance zone. This 382, or sorry, this 618 at 375 was a big resistance zone. So breaking out of it and that 200-week moving average is a good thing. And even if it closes above the 100-week moving average, that'd be even better, right? And 398, so we can watch that level. But I think anywhere in this zone below, in the 370s, 350s, would be a great accumulation zone before it's ready to continue the journey higher. So they all look fantastic. They're all like flipping previous resistance zones into a support. So the bears have nothing on that. Tracker?
Bears. I've got root here. I'm redrawing it because the last it was very erratic from the 1-2 that I had before. I want to put this. I'll just stick it right there for now. And I want to do this. No, right to there. All right, so here's root. I'm just finishing redrawing it. Send this to the back. All right, so this is a crazy one. So if I go to the 1 hour chart, if you weren't watching or paying attention, you totally missed this. This is the new 1-2. I thought this was going to be like this is my 1 and this was my 2 down here, but then it just did this higher wick up and then right back down again. This is my 1. I like these nice sharp ones. So back to the 8 hour chart, you can see that after the 1-2, it went to the 618. It actually went a little more than 618, then back to the 236 right there. Then it got really crazy choppy through this zone, and it didn't quite get to the 70.2 retrace. Threw it back down to the 382. Oh my gosh. Anyway, ultimately, it wants to get to the 123.6 here, I think, or the 786 right here at 208.53. So 208.53 to 204.12, or let's see from where price is right now. About 33 to 36% higher. Then it's going to come back, I think, and back test the 764 at 150.28, right where price is right now. And then it'll fight its way through the 886 here. Look for some more chop right here. This is where I usually operate caution. 234.64. That's the 886 right there. It's probably going to throw it back down. Something like here, then back to the 786, and then in my short scale chart, that's the 23.6 at 318.20. Ultimately, based on that wick up there, it's going to want to go to 372 or 335. So what from where price is right now? Like in other words, if you're going long in this, just buy it and hold it until it gets to at least 31% higher, maybe 143% higher to 372.50. There you go. That's my root analysis. And I can keep going if you want, Matt, or let you do the next.
I got Doge and XRP ready to go here, but there's really no change on either one of them. Let's go take a look here. Yeah, so Doge, they're doing like some back tests, right? You can see this 100, the blue line right here. It was a break below, got some liquidity below, but now it broke out again above it, got rejected at the 50-day moving average, and came back down to retest it. So we're seeing this all over crypto now, break out some back tests on really daily charts. So that's it, right? It's trying to hold the 50% fib. That's fine. It's trying to hold the conversion and the 100. That's fine. So just something that's trying to maintain support, right? Because the 100 was a support, liquidity grab below, and now it's back above it, trying to maintain it as support again. So no change, right? Still in the same zone. still in an accumulation zone right now. XRP, same situation. It basically broke out of the cloud, came back down to retest the bottom of the cloud, and now it's going back above the conversion line, the 100, trying to stay above this 225. And that's going to be the focus, right, for the day in this zone, really from the 224 100-day moving average down to the conversion line at the 219.9. So this is still in process of a bullish higher highs and higher lows, right? These lows are still higher than all of these lows. So the trend is still your friend in this situation. So there's really no change. It's just building a nice little foundation before it's ready to truly go higher. And it's just not ready yet, right? Because there's still lots of resistance above on all of these charts. But if you pay attention to what's really developing is they are actually trying to backtest levels from before that they just broke out of. So this is normal. This is healthy. This is when to accumulate, usually because this is still a bull trend. All right. I think tracker. Oh, ELF. Actually, I did have an ELF chart I wanted to share real quick because
Sure.
the symmetry of this chart alone was beautiful, right? Like this whole ELF chart really told a picture here. And just a green level, it had like a double top. It couldn't really stay above that green level. So it came back down, flipped the arc to a resistance, and came right back down to the blue level and the arc where it was a breakout zone, right? Breakout back test on a high time frame scale. It took basically over a year to do it, January 2023, basically 2 years to do it, right? To basically go back and back test. And now it reclaimed this angle. And guess where it is? Now people are interested in it again when it's right back at resistance, right? Really close to it, maybe 132, 133. And now people like it. They didn't like it down here, but then now they like it up here. So very interesting chart. This is all about market psychology too, because this is why when you use GAN, you can visualize what's really happening. And this was just a back test of a breakout, right? That's all it was. And now I'm getting cautious at resistance. So if you're interested in an opportunity, it's maybe already come and gone, right? Maybe if it does come back down to like the 120s down to the 90s again, then that could be the opportunity. But up here, massive resistance. So be cautious.
99.97.
Be cautious in the 130s. 99.97.
All right. 99.97. That's my support target next. So I can show my ELF chart. It's really cool.
Yes.
So I love a big 1-2 like this one had. But yeah, I'm looking for a 382-236 at minimum. Matt says it's at resistance, so I believe him. The 382 at 131.38 is where it's probably going to stop. That's just
near resistance. It's not at it currently. It's very near. Yeah,
very near it. But so let's see. Last time I looked at this, there was 14.5% to go. Now there's like 5.7% to go to hit the 131.38. Maybe it gets a little bit right to year to this moving average 75. That'd be about 134.67. But my hypothetical projection target would be 131.38. Then if that's resistance, it goes back down to 23.6, $99.97 for support. And then it wants to go to the 1,236. And using this new method that I've learned from using Matt's levels here, I've got this really cool way to do a quick and dirty projection of the 5 subways up. So on the way to 315.09, that's the 123.6% fib extension. It's probably going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this, where it goes to 886, back to the 70.2, goes all the way up to the 127.2, gets kicked back down to the 100%, and then on up to the 141. Let's see if we get that for 315.09, or from our prices now, about 150% higher, 151% higher. There you go. Elf Beauty looks good for holding it through a bunch of time. What is that? Through the end of this year for sure. Anyway. Wow, eVTOL and ACHR, Joby, and EVTL are doing really good. Let me show you ACHR and Joby real quick, because I like these ones. I actually left ACHR only because I like the other ones in the top 10 of my portfolio even better. But I see ACHR wants to go to $13.70 next, or 15% higher. It's going to come back and retest right about where it is right now. And then it's going to give you another 70. Let's see, from where it price is right now, about 71%. To 2040 is my wave 3 target. And that kind of lines up with the 1618 here at 22 on the retrace level. So yeah, look caution at 1690 or 1818 where the retrace are up here, the 127 and 141.4. And there's ACHR, and then I was going to do Joby. I like Joby as well. I haven't looked at that third one. I'll have to take a look at it. Let's see, Joby. I thought maybe 935 could be support. That's where it is right now. And ultimately, it's doing it did 764. No. Wait, what happened here? Oh, it like did a whole, came back almost to the zero again. And then it found the 236. I'm looking for the 123.6 next. I'm treating it like a 382, 236 that just kind of lost its 236. So 1541 is my Fibonacci extensions on the right, and that's the 141.4 on the left with the retrace 1564, or 64% higher from where price is right now, 64.8% higher. There you go. Joey. Then Matt, you want to do something else?
I guess. Yeah, I wanted to do SoFi and Boeing, since Boeing had another crash, another plane crash.
Oh yeah, I've got something after you do that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so SoFi, I mentioned in my Telegram, basically my tier 4 Patreon, that back when it was down in the 13s here, it was really the opportunity for the breakout and kind of a little bit of back test. But now it's at the arc here. It's kind of a resistance zone from the past. So I think it's still just in a range in between the arc and the 13s here. So I'm not excited at resistance, more at support. So just to be cautious here. I think it needs a little bit more time to break out of this, but we'll see how the weekly candle closes tomorrow, if it can really actually break above or not. But the last time I broke above, it was just a fake out and crashed. So we'll see if it can just stabilize in this zone. But right now it is resistance. So perhaps a little bit of a retest back into the 14s or 13s could be necessary before breaking higher. So bullish chart, but at resistance right now. So Boeing, we can see Boeing on my weekly chart did break out, right? We can go to the, actually, no, it's, I built this GAN on the monthly chart, so we can't really use it on the weekly chart. But here's what we're looking at on a month-to-month basis. It broke out last month of the baseline. It broke out of the 50-month moving average, and it broke into the cloud all in 1 month last month. So this is now, once again, a nice-looking chart, right? After holding this 1.272 fib pretty nicely, it just recovered everything that it should to get more bullish again. So pre-market is at 203. Guess what? The baseline's at 198. The 50-month moving average is at 191. So this is a back test happening of a previous resistance now flipping to support. So Boeing, despite the news out there of crashing an airplane, this has potential to even hold nice levels and continue its bullish trend. So 198, maybe 191. I think that'd be a great accumulation zone for Boeing before it really wants to continue higher again.
Yep, and Boeing doesn't crash airplanes. Pilots crash airplanes. Or I
Or
guess
it malfunctions.
yeah. Let's see. I want to just show my BOE. One of my subscribers asked me about BOEU. It's the Direxion Daily BA Bull 2X. And yeah, here's what it did. When I charted it, it had just hit this bottom at 35.20. So I think it's going to recover. I just basically just did from the all-time low to the all-time high, and then 1, 2. So looks like it wants to go what was 14% higher earlier when I did this chart. Now it's like 10% higher to go to 41.59. Then it's going to retest back to 39.15. And then it will go from our prices now 47% higher to my 123.6, 50.58, 55.88, and so on. You guys probably are interested in this. It's a slow boat. But then, speaking of slow boats, so that third stock that was mentioned, EVTL, I'm declaring this the Rivian of VTOLs, because it looks like it was a big boondoggle with their IPO. IPO'd at over $100, and then what? It fell down to 50 times less that. And now it's just kind of scraping along the bottom. So I'd call this high risk, high reward. If it can get a retrace recovery, that'd be 45.95 for the 382 next. But just look at for it to, you see it already hit the 11.4 and couldn't get above it. If it gets above the 11.4, it'll struggle with the B wave next at 29.44, 353% higher. So that's the big reward. But the risk is it never gets past 1565. The ideal state, if it ever gets this 141 up here, is 2,970% higher, plus or minus 100%, because it's really easy to miss with the 1,429 to 162.60. That's all I wanted to show there. Oh gosh, it's 9:05 already. Did I do Galaxy yesterday? I remember seeing this one, and if I didn't do it,
Yeah,
I want to do it. And
thank you, man.
I have done it. Then, oh yeah, we did do this one. Galaxy, no change. It's a little lower, but that's fine. It's oscillating between. It's started from down here. Went to the 618, so it's probably going to the 236 actually. Yeah, let's just change this. 618, 236. No, it already. I don't know. This is hard to say. Let me put this back. It's either going to go back down to 1130, or it'll hold support and continue on higher to the 123.6. It's kind of one of those. Here, I'll show you. Either it's going to go up 146%, or it's going to go down 41%. So there's your risk reward. Up 140, down 41. So you can either get out and wait, or you can just stick it out and see what happens. Let's see what else can I do.
I got one more before we go run away, and then you can do your last one too. Let's see here. ASST. I know a lot of people are talking about it, so here it is. I want you guys to view the monthly chart of ASST, asset entities, because it paints a beautiful picture, right? It's a big breakout right to the 786, huge rejection, even rejected the baseline, even rejected the 702, even is getting rejected now by the conversion line at 688. So viewing the monthly chart sometimes really tell a nice little picture here. And you can see that the support is trying to hold right now at the 592, 618. So this is range bound. Despite a massive breakout, it's stuck under the monthly conversion line 688 and above the 592. So nothing is going to change on this chart until either levels break. Right, nothing's going to change on this. So yes, had a massive breakout, but if you didn't buy way down there, then you kind of missed the majority of the move recently. And it's really at resistance, right? I would say it's primarily at resistance than it is support, because of this big rejection at the 786 and the baseline and the 702 and now even the conversion line. So until all of this trend reverses, it might be spending a lot of time just consolidating in this zone or even going back to retest levels. And on the weekly chart, there is still a possibility to go back towards the cloud too, right? A breakout backtest of the cloud. There is still that possibility in the $2 range. So cannot ignore that. It's a huge candle right here, 1,200% candle. So I don't know if I would be chasing this kind of a move since it's got rejected clearly right now. So let the charts prove it to us. Oh, even on the weekly chart, stuck under the conversion and the baseline on the weekly chart too. And that's really around the same price, 688. So there we are. Until that scenario changes, this is not going higher. So let's see if it can break out above. But right now it's not. So let the charts tell the story. Tracker, take us out.
Oh man, Golden Parachute is sending me home with a note today. They're mad. I spent too much time. The tickers I went over though are all tickers that I'm in, and I'm excited to share them. But let's see. Here's TNA. I just real quick. I think it wants to go. Here's Matt's 141.4. So, oops, that's the wrong thing. Ultimately, it wants to go to either 160.58. If you just want to long it, that's how it's going to go. From where price is right now, 330% to 380%. And let's see on my fib projections. it's probably going to do, let's do 382, 236, 1236, 764, 2236. Oh, that's perfect because my 123.6 lines up with the 144.7. So it's really interesting how this works out. My third is like 5 waves up to the 127 or 141 retrace, and then my 5th wave is like another extension on top of that. Is how this kind of works out. Is how I'm seeing it. So anyway, so from where price is right now, let's say 141.71 or to 146.80. That's 338% higher. Just look out for a turn right. I'm kind of showing you guys how I do this stuff too. So see when I pull this down, I'm blocking out 141.4 to 127.2, and I'm blocking out 88.6 to 70.2. So you can do this at home with your own trading view. And yeah, and then the tricky part is learning how to do the fib extensions, but they're not hard. You can learn them pretty fast. Yeah, so look for the turns right here. I'll just put an ABC between 2 and 3. So maybe between 88.6 and then back to the 70.2 and then to the 127. So yeah, look out at, I gotta send this to the back. Look out at 101.57, and then I'll just hold this still, and there's the whole chart for TNA from now until 338% from now. And all right, I'm sorry, Matt, we went 4 minutes over, but
Yeah,
we'll
that's
be back
fine.
again tomorrow.
And in regards, yeah, that's why I put the YouTube link so you guys can get in early to put your requests in early to try to get them in early. Or you could also, if you go hit the little tip button or the super chat, you can get your requests first, right? That'll also be another way. But basically, I post a link early so people who get in early can get the benefit of getting their charts in first. And the more popular we get, it's going to be more and more charts that we can't get to. So it is what it is sometimes. But that's why we have our paid services like my Patreon as well, and trackers service on X of chart requests. So you
Indeed,
can always join us
I'm
there.
very generous with the chart requests. Like basically anything anyone requests, I just chart it and throw it up there. So $3 a month for all the
Yep.
charts you can eat.
It's a buffet, a tracker
It
buffet.
is. Yes. Thank you, Matt.
All right, we'll see.
Great.
We'll see you guys
Have a good
tomorrow.
Yep. Have a good day and see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Good luck
Bye-bye.
out there today.